All right, good evening. Good evening and welcome to the night shift. Tonight we've got a little bit something special planned. I haven't looked at my replay since Tuesday. I don't know. I might very well be wearing the same sweater. So that's great. Anyway, we've got a day planned, as you can see. We're doing the night shift. We're doing a CCH engagement upgrade. I had to put the full name up there, but then it would have been so small you wouldn't be able to read it. So anyway, we've got a special night planned. I'm here with some of the members of my team, and we're fixing to get down on it. Sorry I was late. I ran into some issues, some audio problems. To be specific, I had to restart some of my equipment. Fortunately, I should have a new machine on the way, and I will hopefully, by the next time I work with you guys, be on some better hardware. Looking forward to that. At any rate, I'm going to drop the volume of the music playing in my own ears. I do like to jam with you guys, but I do want to get some talking done. And give me just a moment. I'm going to check my audio levels on another device. All right, that is perfect. Okay, so right now, one of my counterparts is working on getting a good backup of the server. Always something that we like to do before we get started. Today we are doing, like I said, a CCH ProSystem FX engagement upgrade. We are only going to be upgrading one server this evening. Again, you're not going to be seeing the stuff that's happening at my clients' offices. You're going to see notes and you're going to see screenshots where I can blip things out. Night shift is pretty unscripted, and I still haven't worked on getting any videos out that are scripted, although I'm just about ready to make some next steps on our demo environment. Firewall's pretty much ready and configured. Again, this is the night shift. My name is Shayla. I'd like to welcome you to All Things IT. I'm working. I was going to be here. I am just allowing others to come in and join me with this process, and I'm just dropping knowledge, spitting facts. So, without further ado, let's begin. What do we need to do to get started for this particular situation, for this particular workload? Well, we've got an environment. I believe we're at about 30 machines that we're going to have to upgrade. About 30 machines and one server that runs ProSystem FX engagement. It also runs practice management, and that's a caveat that we're going to have to take into consideration as we're going through prep tools. So, just so you guys know here, let me pop out the chat real quick. So, for the server preparation, we are using an article from the CCH support website. And I'm going to send you guys that in chat, the server prep tools link. But this is just going to be that has some finer details. This list that we have up right now is a little bit more on the edge of that. Just going through the stuff that affects us specifically. So today we're starting with DB backup and restore tool. Well, actually, we're getting our regular backup right now. Let me actually pull up my other screens here. Yeah. So we're getting our regular backup, and after we make sure that backup is complete, we are going to run the DB backup and restore tool. And actually, what's worth noting with the DB backup and restore tool is that we're going to need to disable sync for so this is how things are gonna roll. We're getting our regular backup right now. After we do that, we're gonna use the DB backup and restore tool to do another application-specific backup, more as opposed to just a system-wide backup. One of the next things that is necessary in this process of preparation is to have a work papers backup and a templates backup. Now, both of those locations are just directories, so having a backup of them is done effectively by getting a system backup. So we do backups of the entire system, snapshot for restoration, for a system-wide restoration. I just got notified that the server backup is done, so that is good. And now, and then after we take care of this DB backup and restore tool, then it's at that point, and then re-enable. Re-enable the sync, then we will take a snapshot of the server, a checkpoint of the server. And the reason we do that is because if something goes wrong, then we can revert and be at a place where we don't have to do too much. We've had to do this before. Actually, we had some cross wires on a start time, and we got started doing some upgrades, and people hadn't checked in their stuff yet. So we were like, but you know what? We always have our own back. We had a checkpoint. We just implemented it. We just rolled back to the checkpoint, and everybody was able to just keep working. So, lessons learned. Okay, so the DB backup and restore tool we need to do, but do you remember the steps? Do you remember the steps to disable sync? Admin tool? You just see me do that? Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get that done. I'm going to log on to the app server in question, and I'm going to load the administrator tool for engagement. And in that tool, I'm going to disable sync to the, what is it called? Yeah, database definitely, but also more specifically the Office server. There we go. That's what it's called internally. It's the parlance of this particular product. So I'm going to go into my IT glue, because that's where I document my crap. And I'm going to locate I'm going to locate the password for this. Again, we are, if this is the first time you watched us, know that we are a Kaseya/Datto shop. We like Dell hardware. All of these things we like because of the simplicity of management. And I don't mean simple as in dum-dum. I mean simple as in not a whole lot of points of failure. Alright, so I'm logging on to the Office server admin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click the... Oh my gosh, sometimes this central file room gets a little click-happy. I don't remember if it's the... Oh yeah, I'm going to right-click the main Office server. So I'm going to actually take a picture. I'm going to take an image of this because at the end of the day, I can blur out what you don't need, and it doesn't matter in the end what you name it, and what you see isn't going to reveal anything special about this organization. So I do want to show you that. Give me just a moment. I'm going to grab a capture. Inside of the admin tool, engagement admin, main Office server, and I'm going to actually let me blur out, and then I can draw on this as I speak. Blur out the information that is client specific. All right, cool. We're good. All right, so let me reveal here. Hide my notepad. All right, so if we're looking here at my Snagit tool, let me blow this up a little bit more and close this down. Do a little zoom. Action. All right, so if we look here, what we'll find is that we've got a client name. We've got a central file room listed here, and it is here that I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go into the Office server properties, and I'm going to disable admin synchronization. Okay, that is what I'm going to do first, and then after I do that, then I will open up the database administrator and run a backup tool from that. If you use the link that is in the chat, I may be able to put it into the... I usually jet out of here after my night shift, so do the chat replay, okay? If you want to see it. But ultimately, you can follow along. Like, everything that I'm discussing with you is rooted from that article. So it may not be specifically in that article, but if you read the article, you'll see that you need to go to a different article in order to determine what it is I'm talking about, all right? Up to and including how to do this. If you don't know how to do this, or you don't see those, you need to work on your foo. Go to Google, type in CCH ProSystem FX database backup, so something to that effect, all right? I don't want to burn too much more time here. All right, let me bring my notepad back up. Actually, all right, I hit it. All right, so we have disabled that sync, and now I am going to close this tool. We're going to move down to the next. So we're not going to do that and after re-enable because we're not after yet. But we do need to, again, have the work papers back up, have the templates back up. Well, that's handled by the server backup, which my counterpart just confirmed was done. So that's done. And now the next thing that I need to do before we begin getting the backup for the prep, and that's created. Hold on 1 second. Actually, that's going to be, I don't need to stop the services before that. I should probably pull up this article I'm referring you guys to, shouldn't I? I don't need to stop the SQL instances here. It's before the upgrade that I need to do that. So I just need to go into that backup tool, which I don't remember where it is. I think it's in the program files. Wait a second. I'm going to pull it up. Which one do I install? Preview installation check. Okay, database, backup and restore. All right. And so to get to that, I need to go to... Yeah, so this information about how to disable the sync is actually held in the article that's specific to the backup utility that you need to use outside of the system backup that you take. So if you go to the installation directory of the product on your server, you will then find, let's see, program files, x86. Or is it on the D, on the E? Yeah. Sorry. I'm on the server, so this is installed on a different data disk than on the C in this particular instance. You may have it on the C of your server, but we don't on this. We prefer to keep that data off of the system drive if we can, just to preserve data in the event that there's a catastrophic OS failure. Usually the data will still be intact. At any rate, and then we can be plugged into a different server if need be. At any rate, engagement, and then admin, and then utilities, and then in the utilities folder there is a backup restore folder, and then right click on the backup restore util.exe. I'm gonna get you a shot of that too. So, there it is right there. So you, the backup restore util.exe. So you just double click on that, and then it is going to run what you need. Move that behind. There you go. All right. So we are going to run that as an administrator to begin our backup. We've got a location already predetermined. We like to push our backups to. Sort of kick it there. I've read and understand. I'm going to next. I'm going to choose backup. I'm going to choose my path. Let me see. At the end of the day, this is E. I still want to double check and make sure that I have enough space on this disk to do this. Why, yes. I should. And then the backup that we took prior to should, we did an update to a version in between the version they were at and this newest version. We did a backup of that, or did an upgrade a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get rid of that back file. I'm running the backup right now, and it's doing a full backup. While that backup is running, I am getting rid of the backup that we took at the beginning of the month. We don't need it, and that will also clear a little bit of space. Why chew up space if you don't need to? All right, so it is running this full database backup, and so let's see here. Let me see if I can form these steps a little bit better. Form this a little bit better. DB backup restore. So disable admin sync. Oops, insert. Okay, and then work papers backup. That is a server backup. Templates backup. You get on the server backup. We're going to actually, you know what? I should just shift this out of here. Let's just keep it neat and orderly, because the reality is that what we first need to do is we need to disable admin sync in the for the office server, and then we do this. Then we re-enable admin sync for the office server. And again, this is in the the ProSystem FX admin. So, yeah. All right. So we are about right here. And this is the last thing that we'll need to do before we do our upgrade, and after we do okay. So before we do, or after we do our checkpoint. All right. So again, we're trying to take care of all the nitty gritty, our backups, the backups of the backups, and then we take a checkpoint, so that if we have a catastrophic problem, then, or we need to revert because somebody forgot something, then we can revert safely without having to redo all of our work, all of our prep work. So we checkpoint just after prep, backup before all of that. If you're feeling froggy, backup after that, after the checkpoint, before the checkpoint, after the prep. Seems unnecessary. Checkpoint to me is the quick restore. The other backup is the one that's going to take longer. I would never choose to do a restoration for my backup utility over doing a checkpoint unless for some reason my checkpoint data had become corrupt, which, you know, just find me a plumber's belt. I'm quitting. Just kidding. All right. Let's see how that backup's doing. It is doing what it does, which is take a long time. Let me actually raise this back up so you guys can see it. All right. So we are waiting on that. While we're waiting, our clients, we need to prep them too. Okay, so we already know that all the users have checked in their binders. We made sure that we communicated with our client before, during, and after this process. Well, we make sure that we do that. We have already sent out our community blasts and got clarification questions and let people know what they needed to do. So they're out. If they are not out, I am really, really sorry for them. The chances of going back from this will really only be possible if it is possible without inconveniencing someone, if everybody checks tonight before anybody makes any changes. Otherwise, we will have a situation where we can't. Well, actually, you know what? I mean, theoretically, because the beauty of the backup, the reason you do the database backup with the tool from PFX is because your system backup is just going to back up everything and restore everything. But if you need to restore an individual binder, that's what you use the restore from the backup utility for. So let's say something goes catastrophically wrong, someone's made some changes. I can't even process, it's been a long day, the exact scenario wherein you would need to do an individual backup after having done, or individual restore after having done something like this is kind of a one-off to me. But the reality is it could be possible. Although the beauty of the checkpoint is it restores all the data too, so anyway, I mean, theoretically, if someone made a mistake and didn't check their stuff in, we could do a backup of what has been changed, do a restore, that person can check their stuff in, and then we do a re-upgrade of the server. Now, that is all assuming we didn't upgrade that client machine. If we had, we'd have to find a machine that had, we'd have to revert that upgrade. But we could then re-upgrade and then restore the modified binders to replace the unmodified from the restoration. So that is how one might pull a rabbit out of one's hat if some data had been changed. Anyway, welcome all who are here. We are waiting on the database backup and restore wizard to complete its backup of our engagement server database. We are approximately right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to italicize everything that we've done. There we go. All right. So we're waiting for this to finish, and when that is done, we will then take a checkpoint at the Hyper-V level, and then we will stop all other SQL instances on this server. This server happens to ride with practice management. So there's another SQL database on this server. When we do the upgrade, part of the preparation of the checklist steps indicate that we are to ensure that any other SQL servers that are running on the same version of SQL as the ProSystems engagement database should be stopped. So what we do is we stop them and we then disable them, because our management and monitoring system is looking for those services to start them back up in the event that they are stopped, unless they're disabled. So there you have it. And for that monitoring and management, we do use Datto RMM. So clients must check in their binders. I kind of went off on a tangent on that one, but they do need to close engagement and practice management, and they have to do that because practice management and engagement are on the same machine. So what do I like to do to ensure that users do what they need to do? I restart their machines. So do you mind just doing a blanket restart of all the client systems? So my colleague is going to our RMM, and she is going to do a bulk restart of all of the systems that are there on site. And I would filter that list down to specifically at behind their public IP address and online. Just to make sure that she's not restarting any home machines. All right. What is going on with this? All right. So we've got total 10 database, no failed databases, successful databases, 10. So we are good to go on that backup. Now I'm going to go back into the admin. Grab that. Oops. What did I just... where is it? Let's see. Go back in, and I am going to go to properties of the main office server, and I'm going to clear the disable admin synchronization checkbox and click OK. Right, and then I'm going to close the administrator back down. All right, so now we have done that. We have re-enabled the sync. We are now at a place where it is time for me to go to my Hyper-V server, which I'm not even connected to this Hyper-V instance yet. I'm usually all connected to everything before, but I was getting those little notes together for the session. So I'm pulling up the hypervisor right now. I mean, technically I could remote PowerShell and just execute the command, but sometimes I just like to use the UI. And to be honest, with the way that I have to interface with the system to start a PowerShell session, and because I still have to use a username and password, it's half a dozen, one, six, another, six, one, half a dozen, another, with regards to the amount of steps that it takes for me to do the exact same chore if I execute it via PowerShell or via remote PowerShell or logging into the console and then doing PowerShell. Alright, so I'm looking here and I see that I've got the checkpoint from the last update. We don't need that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that checkpoint and let this merge happen before we take the new one for today. Merge is at 7%. It was from the 4th, so there hasn't been too crazy amount of change. But we do keep that around for a quick revert in the event that something went wrong with the update. Here soon those workstations should be done. By the time I'm done with these incidentals, the command to restart those machines should definitely already be on the way, but I will double check the open connections on the app server and the computer management area. Alright, merge is done, and now it is time for me to go ahead and take another checkpoint. This checkpoint serves to be a place that we can revert to in the event something goes wrong. After we do the upgrade, it will take us to a place in history where we will have already performed all the prep steps, and if we need to start over again, we can just start over from there. Alright, my checkpoint is created, and so now we are at a place where we are ready to run the upgrade. Now, I'm not going to get into the intricacies of the CCH software delivery manager. If you want some help with that, you know, that might be a different kind of conversation, especially as far as respecting my my coworkers' time. They're up here at work after hours, so I don't want to belabor all of that because it'll take up too much time. But I do, want to say that by default, this stuff downloads into a directory that is in public documents, or that's in documents. And then there will be a folder that represents the product from ProSystem or from CCH, in this instance, engagement, and then further a folder that has the different versions. We should be going to 2025.2.1.0. Am I right about that? And so, are you watching me on the server? So, what I'm going to do is, I've already got these DVD extracted. I specifically do not want to extract this DVD to the update location that the workstations use after the install, because the process will eat your files, because the upgrade places the installation files for the clients, not you. So what I'll usually do is I will extract those files in the folder where it was dropped by the delivery manager. I can clear up space later, clear those out. I run that setup. I basically run the setup DVD. It asks where you want to extract. You extract to the folder where the DVD executable lies, and then you run setup. So, oh, what did I forget? What did I forget? I forgot to stop those other services. Alright. So, there's one thing you'd have to do after doing a restore, if you had to go to a checkpoint, would be to stop the SQL services again. Alright, so I am going to stop the SQL server service for practice management, and then I'm further going to set that service to disabled so that my monitoring and maintenance utility does not start it back up while I'm in the process of upgrading. Secondarily, I am going to stop my CEIP service that's associated with that same database, and I am going to then set that to disabled. And when we're done, we will come back and we will re-enable those. Alright, so they're stopped. Just double checking myself, make sure I picked the right database to stop. Alright, and now I'm just going to double click or run as administrator setup for engagement. And first thing I want to do is make sure that my product indicates that I am updating to the version that I initially described that I was going to be upgrading to. So as you can see, we've got 2025.2.1. For an upgrade, we're going to choose this option, upgrade to the latest version. If we were doing a new installation, then we would actually want to start with this SQL Server Express install first, okay? And then do the new. But since we're just updating, we can update. That update is going to handle the installation of SQL for us. All right. Update engagement to the latest version. Here we go. And I can italicize take checkpoint because we have done that. And I can italicize stop all the SQL instances. I can also italicize all of the client prep steps because we are good to go there. So basically when we're done, we're going to revert this. We're going to start those other SQL instances, and then we're going to go to each of the client machines. And let me take this out of the. We're going to go to all the client machines and let's see, ProSystem engagement. We're going to go to our server location. Actually, I'm going to type it out because it's pretty generic. It is always whack your app server name. Oh wow, fingers off the mark. App server host name. Okay. whack engagement CD image. This is what it's going to want to make by default. We're going to show by default setup.exe. Oh my gosh, having problems. All right, so that is always where, and so basically we're going to go to each of the systems and we're going to go to that path. And we're going to follow the exact same steps that we did on the server. Upgrade to the latest version. I'm not sure if it's going to require a reboot or not. But if it does, we'll do it. Alright. Okay. Where are we? We are at the welcome screen. The first page of the upgrade indicates or lets you know what module you have installed on the machine and what module is about to be upgraded. In this instance, the only thing we have on this machine, on this server, is the administrator module. So it is advising us of that administrator module here. It's indicating it. So we're going to specify that we have read the above warning, and then we're going to specify that we want to proceed by clicking next. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right now. And the installation is running. It's going pretty well, going pretty well. Ooh. And then we're going to break the systems up into chunks and just hit up each system and run those updates. And actually, while this update is running, I'm going to step away from my desk. I will be right back. back. We are at a place where it is configuring the SQL instance. Doing some of the last steps here. Copying new files. Ooh. I need jelly beans. I'll be right back. Today's show's, well, it's brought to you by me, but I'm eating some strawberry jackery jelly bellies. Let's go. Opening firewall ports. Upgrading central admin database. Shucks, did you close fixed assets on this machine or did I? I minimized it. Fixed assets? Just the window, yeah, I just minimized the window. Seriously? It is gone. It's okay. They should be paying some attention. I should be able to reach out and get help with that login. And I think he's still logged in on the web anyway, so we'll be good. Still upgrading the central bin. Thanks for joining. If you're just arriving here with us, so it doesn't look like the case. We're chilling. Don't have too many people with us, and that is okay. I got a follow a couple days ago. Rock on. And since I don't want to ignore Twitch, give me a second and I'll get that link to you guys. Should still be on my clipboard. Get that link to you guys out in Twitch. Yeah. There we go. So those of you that are catching this on Twitch, and on Twitch, I haven't determined whether or not it's a detriment or not to do this, but I've got it recording, so you can catch my vids later on Twitch as well as on YouTube, the YouTubes. We're doing good here. Trial balance stuff is being upgraded in the bin. We're all working together today to get this done as efficiently as possible. It'll take a lot less time to divide 30 between 3 people for the client upgrades. Now, I think I'm going to preemptively... What did we just upgrade them to? 2020... Okay. I'm going to share that folder out like I did the 2023 2.1.0 in case those 2 units get all persnickety. Now, when I do that, do know I am also adding everyone to the ACL for permissions, as well as everyone for full share permissions. So both. I should be able to, at this point, unshare. And what I'm referring to, I had 2 machines, the last upgrade, that were looking for an MSI for the previous version to proceed with the upgrade. Pretty odd. Pretty abnormal. And so we had the installation files for the older version, so we just created a share. When it asked for the MSI for that older version, we pointed it to the MSI for that older version, but all other systems didn't require that. They were able to in-place upgrade smoothly. These other 2 systems, they in-place upgraded smoothly after that little hiccup. Sometimes you just gotta give an installation what it's asking for, and it'll do just fine. How are we gonna break up those, how are we gonna break up... Cool. Okay. You're kind of reading my mind here. Alright. So I'm opening up a worksheet. Is RBC helping again? Alright then. 4. Yeah, I can. Yep, I can see it filtered now. Beautiful. Upgrading KC. Still not done yet. KC being the knowledge coach. Knowledge coach. Okay. I'll do like green or something. Not yet. backup files, and now it's copying the installation files for the client machine. Backup information. The installation is almost complete. It's important that you back up your central file room data on a regular basis. For instructions on how to back up your data. Honestly, I think I've done this for another firm too. I don't know if I have it on a regular basis for these. I am going to remedy that and set a scheduled task to regularly do that data backup that would allow for individual binder restoration. I'm going to indicate that I've read the warning and proceed, and then finish. In order to complete the installation, we are going to have to restart the computer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Keeping in mind that when you good if I reboot? Keeping in mind that when we do bring the system back up, we are going to need to remember to re-enable those other SQL services. And what I may do, just because I'm probably going to boot this server, probably going to go into services. I'm going to re-enable those other two services. I'm going to start them as automatic, and then I'm probably going to do one more reboot for good measure. Just to make sure all the services are starting up like they should. Color me paranoid, but typically this particular client is a pair of white pants. If something is going to fall on your lap, it's going to fall on your lap when you're wearing those white pants. So I try to cover all my bases and then some. And it's tax season, so this is not, be like if you accidentally washed a whole football team's uniforms in cold water right at the beginning of football season. They'd be stuck wearing shrunken uniforms. I don't know about you, but my imagination went pretty far on that. What's up? Another member of my crew just dropped in, so we're going to be 4 deep tonight. Alright, so the server's back up. I'm logging in. Do everywhere. Oh, I'll get my phone open so it's not going to go to my watch. All right.
I'm going to get plugged in here, and then I will call you.
All right. My other members, he talks like he wants the whole world to hear his conversation, so I had to mute myself so you guys weren't all up in his conversation. All right, so I'm restarting those two services, CIP and the SQL Server. I'm also setting these services back to automatic start. Once that's up, now and again for good measure, I am going to do another reboot. Alright. Here we go. I'm going to mute you again. Alright, he went outside. When the server comes back up, we're going to be ready to proceed with the installation for the clients. What time is it? How long have we been going? 57 minutes. So, prep and install time for the server, about an hour. Now, granted, I was talking through it, so that made things take a little longer. So, probably anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. You can get this done if you've got it on a single server. Although I'm not going to cover it in here, I am going to also upgrade their terminal server. They're actually session host, to be more specific, and their engagement sync server for the terminal server, because the syncing of binders is handled differently on a terminal server than with just a client PC. Looks like the server is it back up? I barely noticed it blip. All right. We're logging back in. Move my worksheet over here. I'm going to double check these services, make sure everything started up just properly. Boogie on down to SQL, running. Okay, so we are good. Browser's up. SQL server's up for all my instances. CEIP service is up. SQL Server CEIP services are up for all my instances. We should be ready to go. We're all clear, guys. If you want to move forward with running those updates. What share? Oh, yeah, go for it. I already confirmed it's there, but I only did so through computer management. I didn't do it from a client. But why don't you start with his? Huh? I'm pretty sure one of them was... Check your email. Alright, let's go. Okay, so I'm pulling up my RMM. I'm closing out some of these other... Check it for what? Are we talking about the same thing? It's... The true path is on the E drive. The shared path would just be engagement CD. It didn't do what it did last time because I didn't extract to there. You know what I'm saying? I did what you said. Or I did what the instructions said. Don't extract to the engagement CD image folder. Like a dum-dum. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to start with my first unit here. What I like to do is what I was explaining earlier. I go to the site, I go to the devices. I scroll over to my external IP column. If it is not visible, I make it visible. I grab the external IP of the site. I then constrain my list to devices that are behind this external IP address. Apply. And then I take out all the offline by choosing to look at online only. Well, let me do this under workstation. I need to do this under workstation. I was doing it under all and I'm not. And then I'm sorting them by order of host name because mine are in a range. My range is in a particular, or they're all in order. All right. So then I'm just gonna open each. How do I do this? How should I do this? All right. Just gonna web remote to 2 of them. On my worksheet, I'm going to make those 2 host names in italic so I can mark and know where I am. Oh. The name that I sent to you, that's me. I'll do that one. It's one of the first that I need to do, so I'll let you know if it asks again. All right. I'm going to mute you. It's worth noting that we have a map drive to this location, but we are performing the installation by using a UNC path, not a mapped drive. Just worth noting. I'm going to mute you again because I've got some side talkers. We are moving right along. There are, like I said, 4 of us hitting up a couple handfuls of machines apiece. So we should be done in no time. We are currently on this step right here. If you're just joining us, you are joining me on the night shift, work that I was always going to do, whether you're here or not. Just doing it streaming. If you have any IT questions or concerns, let me know. You want to donate, you can donate to MSP, $MSPBackline Cash App. If you have any questions or concerns, you're interested in some help with something like this, you can hit me up at holla at MSPBackline.com. I'm going to meet you again. Thanks. All right, so similar to on the server, which only had the administrator module, on the client, it'll say work paper management. That's what is on the client machines. You have to indicate that you have read the warning, but again, it starts just the same, upgrading agent to the latest version, and then you see this instead of admin. All right, so Here we go. We're rolling. There's an ad in here. It's driving me freaking crazy. Alright. We're doing the damn thing. Let me actually send this to, and I'll send it to Twitch and for, let's see, all right. And so I'm kicking out another link to everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Running through my first two. It's going pretty good so far. I'm pulling up a third because I'm feeling a little saucy. Oh yeah? 4 at a time. We got someone doing 4 at a time. Wow. If I do too many more at a time, my computer's gonna be like, nah. You're streaming and you're working. We can't be doing all that. I heard. So excited. No. Well, I've been logging in as the user. Oh. Who? Shame. Shame on you. You need it? Just search for 9th. Oh, nag. Alright. Close to done on my first 2. Having some woes connecting to my third. Probably has something to do with the update we had last night for RMM. Oh my gosh. Which, I really want to go over that with everybody. The latest update to the RMM, but I'm going to abstain because they do one every month. And maybe I will do one after MSP Backlines up and going, and then I'll have a specialized, instance that I can show you of the RMM that just has my MSP Backline stuff in it. So, man, it's taking forever. What? Yeah, so there was an upgrade to the RMM last night. I really probably shouldn't push it anyway. My computer's at the edge of its resources with what I've got going on all at the same time, so. Yes. And then all you need to do is run the update to the latest. Who are you logged in as? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No admin for you. Yeah, so then just use our creds. So that problem child, that first problem child. Well, actually, we'll see. I'm not gonna say that it's not giving me a problem until it says installation is done. But it doesn't look like it's gonna prompt me for the previous version's media. We do. Yeah, these are not quick installs. And making me sad. All right, I've got one done. That is a reboot was required. Oops. Okay. All right, so I'm not gonna fight too hard. If it doesn't let me on with web remote, then I'm gonna connect via agent browser and then make a subsequent connection via Splash Top, which is an alternative option for remote access. It's worth noting it's also possible to configure access using VNC, but I don't like to. That's way too many thank you holes, yeah. Way too many holes. But yeah, this particular machine is not being very cooperative as far as web remote is concerned. It's just spinning its wheels. I ain't got no night. So wait. Just kidding. Because he probably turned them off. So if he turned them off, and then it would only show you one monitor when you go to connect. Maybe they have, yeah. And using your favorite and most acidic eyedropper? Would you use an acidic eyedropper?
Windows cannot access.
All of that was just the lead up. Oh my gosh. 6. Another neat thing about web remote, though, is the integration of IT code that you can activate and be able to inject credentials. It's pretty nifty. Where's this machine? Yeah, I was gonna say, then it's probably not there. Okay, so something that just happened in the office is the reason why I was discussing the filter first, because he has a machine on his list that doesn't need to be on his list. But more to the point, the machine is located here at our office. So if he had constrained his list prior to beginning his work, then he would have never connected that machine because it wouldn't have even been listed for him. But he's only level 9,000, so. All right, 15 for 15 crimps. All right. Huh? What did I post in the sheet? Oh, because I used the window to toggle through my clipboard, and it pasted it. Like a dum-dum. I know. It's very X-laxy. Alright. So I've got 3 going. Yeah. Is this strawberry daiquiri? You're broken. You're a broken human. If you don't like strawberry daiquiri. Yeah, the peach is the bomb. Let's retry. One of these I'm getting a server not responding error. Derek. Wait, let me lick them all first. You opened the peach, yeah? Yes. Thank you. Yes. They saw the bag come into frame. It was perfect. And by they, I mean nobody. I do get some views after the fact, but I don't get too many people here with me live. Why is the server not responding? Come on. Right under the preview of the monitors, there is a keyboard that you might have to expand under that. Yeah, you see it? Oh, this room earlier. Preparing for install? This unit that's in the server room is not being nice. 3 shards. I wasn't gonna. I was being nice. Yes, it's literally an IT glue. You know, I could have sworn I heard some freaking organization, and I swear it sounded like he said it was the. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, they're being problematic for sure. It's not. It doesn't really make. I mean, the location is coincidental. It doesn't seem. Not off the bat does it make sense to me because they're plugged into the same switches. Are we talking a daisy chain type situation? Is it running like the same? Is it the same like type of switch? It may. I mean, I might freaking cycle the port. But for now, I'm gonna wait. Kind of being a bastard. I was wondering what you were doing. So I've got one unit that I'm continuing to get a server, install server not responding error on. I'm going to leave that be. I feel like I've only gotten one machine up because that is the truth. I'm working on 3 others. Mm-hmm. I'd want to go through a whole lot more troubleshooting to narrow it down to, I would say, it is possible, but not necessarily probable, that that could be circumstantially the reason why. At the end of the day, it would be technically some other reason, like bad nicks, but all from that same batch. That would also do it. I'm not having any issues. Can you not? Oh. I might be doing automatic. Ooh, how long have we been going? A buck 30, so we should be able to finish this in the next 30 minutes to still be in my 2-hour streaming window. Man, this machine's kind of taking me off. Thin cheek walls? What the fuck are we doing?
I do, and I would appreciate it if you didn't laugh at my situation.
Yeah, we do. Because she still remotes into it. She did? Why is Staff Think still online? I don't know. I'm pretty sure when I helped her today, she remoted into her old one. Well, that would be because I didn't get her. I mean, it's not like their systems automatically know where to go. I have to reconfigure all their shortcuts. It was like, fuck that bitch, Shayla. Fuck that bitch. Don't. But she's probably gonna be in earlier than us. Upgrade it. We'll swap her out tomorrow. Huh? You tanned your head off, that's for sure. I can see. You look straight up like, I don't know. You're starting to brown. You're starting to brown. Woohoo! All right, I got another one finished. 2406. 2408 is running. Finish. Okay, 2404 is the one that keeps giving me timeout issues. Jerk. It's 2405 must be offline. Big house. Oh my god, finally! Finalmente! Yes, exactly. Babani. Babani. Yep. The old Mother Hubbard machine is off. So that one I will not do. All right. I just gagged at my own vanity. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here's your birthday blow. About what? Picked the wrong one. How about this one. If there was a different one that I wanted to. I know, it's so sad. The important things. Well, ish. So sad. Oh, did you say all yours were like offline, you said? Man, these jelly bellies are really making me burp. 2501? 2411. And that would be all for me. Yeah, he was pretty playing crackers in that meeting. Were you in that meeting? You were in the meeting, weren't you? Look, dude. Don't be. It's late in the day. All I've had is sugar. I didn't had to eat a proper lunch. All this stuff happened between sleeping. Don't be scared. Yeah, man. Maybe you should be. Let's go. Let's go. I haven't heard that song in quite some time. Quite. Dirty? What do you mean? It's so some Gmail creds? No idea why we would have been provided that. To your mother. She is left-handed. And for some reason recently, the remote sessions through the agent browser are pushing mouse preferences through back to us. Yeah. It fucked me up real good. The first time I connected. I was like, what is... Yeah, I straight up asked her. I was like, are you left-handed? Like she was a dirty, dirty broad. No offense to anyone that catches this that's left-handed. You're okay in my book. Just flip it over. Yeah, except you're going to hell, you left-handed No, I'm just kidding. Remember that episode of Family Guy where she's like, those people. Yeah, she didn't like black left-handed people. She is. I'm kidding. Completely. I'm gone. honked? Where's the camera? That is so funny. Yeah, I am. Gotcha. See, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. I do not know. Now, if we're talking about karate belts, I mean, it's similar. Sounds like the. But what? What belt am I? Oh, I'm not wearing a belt. Just kidding. I am. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I am green. Or brown. Whatever the second belt is. That's as far as I went in it. Because I switched. Like, it was something to do when I first moved to town. And then I found roller derby. And so I was like, maybe I'll quit Taekwondo. So I dropped that. But I gotta say, I wish I had stayed with karate. Because I had better abs. That's how I pulled the chicas. That's how I pulled the chicas when I first started. We'd go swimming afterward, and I actually had like a six-pack, and I'd pull my shit off. The lady's like, oh. That's right, baby. That's right. Let me wash your shirt on my boards. I got you, sugar. Yes, that's right. This is the night shift. What you talking about? Yeah. Oh, it's probably already gone. There's no need to update it. Oh, I did put it as red, but that's because I didn't know its status. I just remembered now that you started talking about it. What is this one? 408. I do need to do something. I'm imbalanced. I'm imbalanced in many ways. All right, 408. All right, so I'm just waiting on 2 machines. RMC's got my last 2. It doesn't mean anything. She was just like, change the color to something other than what it is when you're done. So we're all just picking our own colors. Me personally, I have my sheet filtered such that I can only see my own stuff, so I ain't studying y'all's work.
The colors! I'm overstimulated.
I have 3 that I'm working on. I think we're not too far away from being at a 2-hour mark. We should be done with this by then. Too bad I didn't record for cuts, but that's fine. Next week I'm coming at you hard though. We're gonna do working in the first half, and then we're gonna get down on the freaking we're gonna get down on our demo environment. So I'm super duper stoked about that. I may also take some time and record. Have we got another environment? I'm actually migrating out of the cloud. So that's some work that I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to broadcast that, but I am setting up. I'm setting up a remote apps instance, shifting from Azure AVD. There's nothing spectacular about that. Pretty much it's start over. You know what I mean? There are sometimes when you do a transition, a migration, and really it's more like a fresh. You're starting fresh. It's you know, greenfield. This is definitely not a brownfield type of scenario. So this has been a fun evening. I'm gonna have a good time re-listening to this too. I'm probably gonna laugh with myself. Told you I have no friends, so I listen to my stream after I'm done with my stream. Every time I do my stream. Stream. No. I am. Yes. It's crack cocaine in the form of jelly bellies. Uh-huh. I really want to say something that rhymes with armadillo. Or use armadillo to rhyme with pillow. Uh-huh. Right. That's enough of that. I don't want to get copyright stricken because you're humming something that YouTube's like, bitch, we don't even care about you. You can say what you want. You can say what you want. You can do what you want. We ain't listening to you. We don't give a damn. You're not even a ripple. You're not even a ripple. Don't dismiss small beginnings, he said. Oh yeah? Well, I mean, I'm down to clown. Like, I'm serious about this. I want some community. I need friends. I'm all alone. You have, but see, here's the thing. With this community, I don't have to leave my chair. Yeah. Or like, really don't. Yeah, I mean, it's not like that. You know, another piece of the one is cast not thy pearls before swine. So, although I appreciate my small beginning, I'm careful with whom I share my pearls, because they could turn out to be swine and get my pearls all dirty. Jesus died so we can eat bacon. Breakfast is so good. Thank you, Jesus.
The left clicks.
If what I just said offended you, you should go to a different stream. What did you say?
Blame Robert.
I thought you said blame your mother, and I was like, that's a good one too.
No, it's my bad, your fault.
Love it. My bad, your fault. Oh my gosh.
The other one that I've started using is, sorry, can't talk right now.
Oh. Wow. I just... You should say, I gotta go turn a trick. It's literally what you just said. It's just using different parlance. Dance for my dinner or turn a trick. If anybody hears this, anybody out there in the world, anybody, please let me know if you think those are the two things. Those two things are the same. Thank you. I've got an informal poll out now. A poll. Dance on that. It was. All right. I'm still waiting on these last 3. Oh, wait, last 2. 26, 09. Did you finish those other 2? Seriously? How do you finish these stuff? All right, my 2404 just finished. Okay, I'm just waiting on one. I'm just waiting on 2410. My 2404, the one that kept timing out over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, didn't ask me to reboot. Yeah, that's not my intro. My intro is a lot cooler than that. Night shift. Whatever. You can't be stealing my words. I'm copywriting night shift. Night and shift. $24.04.
You stole my joy, dang it, Shayla. 2411.
I stole it on the night shift, baby. Did that bring any of your joy back? All right, I think we are doing good here. You said 2501 and 2411 were rebooting. 2411 was already back up. I'm still waiting on my 2410. My 2404, I don't know what to do. It said it finished, but it never prompted me to reboot. I'm gonna do a restart and just see if it knows what it's doing. Let's just do this. Let's do a restart. And then I'll reconnect to 2404. That'll be the one I test. But again, it's... Alright, guys. It has been fun. It's been super fun. Had some laughs. Consumed way too much sugar. Skipped dinner. Or lunch, rather. At any rate, I am shoving off for now. We will see you on Tuesday. If I make my way in here on Saturday, which I really don't think I will. I've got a concert on Saturday, actually. So yeah. And Saturday is Valentine's Day. So I will not be in on Saturday, but I will definitely see you guys next week on Tuesday, where I hope to dig into some more environment where we've got 2 standalone servers. We are about to get ready to create a domain and play around with some policies, play around with some features of some management tools, and see if we can't build this community. Woo-ha. I don't even know what that means. But thanks for sticking with me. If you'd like to pay for me to have funnier friends, you can donate at $MSP Backline at Cash App. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time on the night shift.